Hello everyone, and welcome to another video review. What we have for you today is my top 3 concealed carry options. Each of these has its own unique set of features. Each has a different price point as well. So we have the lowest price point, the medium price point, and the highest price point. So that's why these are my top 3, because they have a unique set of features to them and they have a different price point to them. So let's start off with number 3, which would be the most expensive and the least practical, would be the Mini 1911, which is the Ronin EMP. This is a 3-inch model. They also have a 4-inch model. It is quite heavy for a concealed carry pistol, but the size definitely says concealed carry. That's what it's designed for, scaled down into 9mm only. So it has 2 external safeties. So it has the grip safety and the thumb safety. So a lot of people with concealed carry don't like not having an external safety like the other 2. They find it uncomforting. So especially with a new firearm user, they find it unnerving. So this helps to calm their nerves because it has 2 safeties, right? It has the grip safety and it has the external safety. Now, the problem with the 1911 is the weight and the printing and the external controls. So you see how much it increases the width. So that also makes it harder to conceal because of the snag factor of the controls. Fiber optic front sight, 2 white dots in the rear, they're metal. It's a carbon steel frame with a brushed aluminum lower. Sorry, I always wanted to call it lower. So the slide is carbon steel and the frame is brushed aluminum. On its bigger brother, it's stainless steel and then carbon steel. So this is, however, aluminum to save weight. So they were considering that. It does have a nice metal magazine that has a nice base plate to it that increases the grip length to it. So if you have big hands, which I don't, and you can change the grip panels here, so you can get different textures, different thicknesses to change, essentially like they have the back straps that changes the thickness. You can do the same here with the scales. You can change these to different ones. I, however, like these because they have some texturing here and there's texturing here, so it gives a really good grip. And then the weight, there's absolutely no recoil. And this is the most accurate one on the table because of the fixed barrel design. So even though it's only a 3-inch barrel, the most accurate for sure. You can literally stack rounds on top of each other. It's that accurate. It is the most expensive though. However, this is like $800. So for this, you could get a full size 5-inch and 45. So this is expensive. So it's not as practical because of the cost, the weight, the bulkiness of the controls, how it increases the snag factor, and you know, the protruding beaver tail, the hammer, the safety. There's a lot that makes it harder to conceal, but this is an awesome piece. So this is a hard choice. So when I think of concealed carry, I think of what's the most important factors. And so for me, it's size and weight. So for number 2, we're going with the Sig P365 with the XL grip module put on it. So this is not the factory 365 grip module or FCU. This is the XL FCU with the XL grip module. So I did change this around because I got the X macro grip module for the XL. And so then I switched the fire control units because I prefer the other one than this one. It's a shame that you can't just buy the fire control units for like $150. That would be a game changer, but you can't do that. They're really expensive. So this revolutionized the concealed carry world, but it didn't start it. So there was some that came before it that were highly effective, great designs. So this is why it's number 2, because it is excellent at concealed carry. The controls are sleek. The weight is minimum. It's thin. The size to weight to capacity ratio is outstanding. It's the best on the table. Comes with factory night sights. It's got an ergonomic grip. The controls are easy to use. It's easy to take down. It's easy to clean. It's very little maintenance. It is extremely reliable. The fitting here is flush. It has front and rear slide serrations. This is a great design. The magazines are metal and they fit flush. With the modularity, you can use the original grip model, so I can put the original P365 grip module back on it, and then I can put the base plates back on the magazines if I want to, but I don't need to. I like it just this way because it increases the grip size for my hands, but doesn't necessarily increase the overall size enough to make it a game changer. It makes it a game changer for my grip, but not for concealing. So that's why I went with the XL grip module here. I also have a black one I can change, so it can be black on black too also. So that's what's cool about the Sig, is if you have the 365 and the XL or some of the other models, they do have some interchangeability with the grip modules and the fire control units, so that if you like one more or the other with the different setup, you can manipulate it to how you like. The texturing here is great. The non-texturing here I really like. I like the texturing here, but not here. It has like a beaver tail, not as much as, let's like say my 1911 here, but it is better than a lot of other striker fired pistols. It has an accessory rail. So this is the creme de la creme of models for features of concealed carry, but it wasn't the original. So that's why it's not number one. But this is one that's hard to go against. They did have some quality control issues with it, but they figured that out, no problem. So good on them. But that's going to happen when you produce so many units or whatnot. So I don't know if it was overhyped or not, but I had just got this a little while ago, so I haven't had it that long. And with all the grip modules that have come out, I've been manipulating the different grip modules to see what I like the most at the range. And so this is the configuration that I like, and this fits in my little man purse perfectly. So I also can put the 15 round magazines in here as well. So this is a great piece. Size to capacity, night sights, accessory rail, smooth trigger. The trigger on this for a striker fired pistol is super nice. Oh wait, I have the magazine in. So pretty nice comparatively. It's nothing compared to the 1911 trigger, but all 1911's triggers, even the factory mil spec, are superior to most striker fired triggers. But there's differences to what people like and dislike. I'm still trying to get used to the Sig triggers. I'm more used to the Glock trigger and then the 1911, but it's a work in progress. But this is a highly accurate piece. This is affordable. This is the middle grade price. This is about $650, and you get a lot of features with this. So my number one is the Glock 42 in 380. Now why this one? Well, because concealed carry means small package, lightweight, thin, slim controls, not a lot going on. So nothing says that more than the Glock 42 and 380. It doesn't even weigh a pound, it weighs 14 ounces. So the grip is really small, which is the downside, but I have small hands. So a lot of people prefer the 43, but because I have small hands, I could go with either. So I went with the 42 because the 380 cartridge, there is no recoil, and it's literally easy to stack the rounds on top of each other at the range on the target, no problem. The magazine fits nice and flush, so it gives you a little bit of extra. And there is ones that you can get the little lip on there and you can get the extensions, but just in the factory package like it is, it works great. It has a little bit of contouring here, so there is a little bit of a beaver tail, so it does fit good in my hand. It does have the Glock reliability. I did put night sights on it. These aren't the factory ones, and these are a little taller. I like that. But look at how thin it is, and it doesn't even weigh a pound. It can fit in your pocket. It can fit almost in any place. There's no accessory rail, So it's like feature-wise really limited, but what it does have is it has reliability. The controls are slim, so there's not a lot of snag factor. You can put this in a pocket holster and put it in your front pocket and nobody's going to know. It's essentially the same size as a cell phone nowadays. People's cell phones are just this big, right? So this is a nice convenient package. And with the 380 cartridge, it doesn't have any recoil. So it increases the confidence for the user, because when you go to the range and take this, a lot of the people can do really well with it, especially at a close distance. So it's good to have one that builds confidence. The downside is the 380 cartridge is pretty weak and the ammo is expensive. The reliability on it is good, but I haven't found any ammo that routinely will lock the slide in the rear position on the last round. So it will fire anything, but it doesn't lock the slide to the rear. So that's kind of a problem. That's hit and miss for the most part. But when I think of concealed carry, this is the smallest, lightest, most reliable. The controls are the simplest. It has a trigger safety. So it does have a safety, but people don't like the Glock trigger safety. With the Sig, that doesn't even have the trigger safety. So I don't know. What people prefer when I hear at the range is the recoil they're afraid of, and they don't like how it's snappy. Well, this one, there's no recoil. It's not snappy at all because of the weight. This one is kind of snappy, but I don't really know what people mean by that. It's only a 9mm, you know. Maybe if it was something a little more powerful, but then you got your 380, which is nothing. So this is my number one concealed carry. This is also the one that I purchased first. I got this on a Glock Days event where you got night sights for free when buying it. So this had only been out for a short while, and then the Glock 43 came out, and I chose this one over the 43 because it's smaller, it's lighter weight, it's thinner, and it's more easy to conceal. Doesn't have an accessory rail, but neither does the 43. It has limited set of features. It only comes with plastic sights, but I got the night sights on there. So it's also the cheapest at like $450 now. So I wish Glock would come out with a new generation. I really want them to come out with like an X model of this. So like the 43X, but 42X, where they increase the grip module length and the capacity a little bit. Just another inch, no problem. They can make it happen. This is the only one they have in 380 on their website too, so they need a new edition. So these are my top three. Now I do have an honorable mention, and the honorable mention would be the Glock 43X. Now why this one, it doesn't leapfrog to number one? Well, because this one doesn't do anything that the others don't, and the features aren't offered anything more than the others. So the Sig has an accessory rail, which this doesn't have, and it comes with night sights. This, I had to put night sights on it. So this comes with plastic sights and no accessory rail. Now this has front and rear slide serrations like the Sig, but these ones are better. They're thicker and they're deeper cut. Now the grip on it is pretty good too, but the Sig grip is even more ergonomic, and the capacity to size to weight ratio is even better. The cost of this is like a little bit cheaper than the Sig, but more than the Glock 42. But it doesn't offer anything that any of these other ones can't do. Now, I would say that this is number one for a lot of people, but at the same time, there's others that are comparable that offer a little bit more with the accessory rail, with the factory night sights. But it does have the Glock reliability, and they didn't have any issues with quality control or anything like that. So a lot of people trust the Glock brand name, as do I, because of the reliability. And, you know, they don't have any issues. They only come out with something every so often, and they sell a bunch of them. So they haven't changed their designs much over the years. They do minor design changes in the different generations of the Glock pistols, but overall it doesn't change much, and still they're one of the top manufacturers, and they offer the least right out of the box. They offer the least amount of features. No accessory rail, no night sights. You have to make do with the ones that attach to the here, like the little clip thingies. You have to put your own night sights on. So Glock offers the least out of the box in features wise, but it is the most reliable out of them, and it is the most cost effective, I would say. So especially with the plastic magazines here, the rest have metal. These have metal magazines, and they're way more expensive. The plastic magazines are more cost effective and function just fine. So this is my honorable mention, which was hard to not make number one, but I had to have a different set because of how the Sig P365 revolutionized the concealed carry market. So these are my top three. Number 3, the Ronin EMP from Springfield Armory. Number 2, the Sig P365 from Sig. The Glock 42 and 380, number 1 concealed carry choice. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, comment for more related content.